Hey everybody, here we go.
We are live.
Welcome to What the Hack?
What the heck?
This is our first episode. We are so excited. We're just going to give you guys a minute to join us here.
To get notified. Get those notifications popping up. We're excited to be here. And are we live?
Yes, I think we are.
I hope so.
I hope we are.
Because we have lots of great things to talk about.
Hey Denise.
So we are live. We are live from the new Influencer Pro exclusive fan page. And that's exciting because it's a new launch for this year for us. There's going to be a lot of exciting things that are going to be attached to this brand and this fan page, including the What the Hack episodes each and every week. I don't know that the schedule's completely filled out yet for the day and the time, but you can look forward to that here in the near future, that we will have a specific day and time. This is our first episode, so it's like we're learning to swim for the first time.
Yeah, it's all about just getting to know you guys and introducing ourselves so you can get to know us and what the show is about and what we can give you, the value that we can give you through this page and this show. So, hashtag Pajama Boss in the house. Yeah.
Pajama Boss.
So, yeah.
And really
welcome everybody.
A little bit about the show, too. A little bit more about the show. The show is it's going to be a discussion between myself, Monty Schumacher, and
16 Ramos.
We're here to discuss social media trends, marketing, online marketing, e-commerce, online stores, branding. Wow. I mean, there's a lot of topics that we're going to cover on this show on a weekly basis, called What the Hack.
So we called it What the Hack because we really want to dedicate this group and this show to people who are starting to grow their online businesses, their social media businesses, and therefore that's also why we titled this first episode as such, Growing a Social Media Business in 2019. And so everyone who's on basically day one or week one of their business and they're trying to figure out the best platforms that could work for them, the best ways to do this. So we're giving you sort of business hacks, I would like to call it, or life hacks, mental hacks if you're in need of some leadership or like mental
I need
boost.
some mental hacks.
We can really talk about any topic in relation to the life of a social media entrepreneur, because that really is kind of a new realm for this generation. Is like a lot more people are exploring side gigs and side hustles, and we want to provide value in that area where we can kind of make your life simpler. The life of an entrepreneur is never easy, so I'm not going to say make your life easier, but we're going to attempt to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the things is that we want to do is we need your help. Okay, since we are launching this for the very first time, we need you to share these episodes. We need you to tag your team members in the comments. We'd love to know, first of all, where you're from. We know we have a global audience, and as you connect to this brand new fan page, it's important for us to have a sense of what some of the issues are in the country that you live in, because social media is very diverse.
Yeah.
We just were talking the other day about Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and WeChat and all these topics that we're going to be covering in 2019. And so we want to know what countries you're viewing from. So if you're watching the replay, which most of you will be, put in the comments hashtag replay and the country that you live in. That would be really helpful for us. So share this with, there's a share button that right there and right on the bottom, right? Click that share button, share it with your friends, invite everybody, because this is going to be some amazing free information that you're going to get on a regular basis from us. We've been in social media, the direct sales industry, working with personal branding, and all sorts of categories that we're going to talk about, we've actually been involved in those categories for many years, right?
Yeah, we have been. So, you know what, guys? Because a lot of you will be watching this replay. This is like a public video. So a lot of the people who are going to be watching this won't know who we are. So why don't we like introduce ourselves and our backgrounds, give them a little bit about that, and then we'll let you guys into what the show is going to be about and the page and some of the groups we're going to make you members of.
So, that's a cue, right?
Yeah.
We just went back. Okay, so as I said, my name is Monty Schumacher, and I have been involved in online marketing and social media for at least the last 14 or 15 years, as well as the direct sales industry for over 30 years. And that has lent itself for me to have a very unique perspective of the evolution of many different types of businesses that have transitioned from an offline environment to an online environment. And of course, we've been involved in creating lots of social media campaigns and branding. And I think you're going to talk about branding because you have a global brand that you've been very experienced in creating.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm 16 Ramos, and I actually have been in the... Thank you. I've actually been in the direct selling industry as well for 7 years, entering my 8th year this coming year, and I've built a global online brand of beauty affiliates, and I've built that mainly in the comfort of my own home. So I know what it's like to build a mobile business, having nothing in front of you but your phone and your laptop, and the struggles of not having like a physical infrastructure and kind of transitioning from that to an online business as well. But what's great about my experience of making all of these mistakes and kind of going through the struggle of figuring a lot of things out, I now have built a business of more than 50,000 beauty affiliates in the team, and we're bringing in new affiliates monthly by the thousands, averaging 2,500 to 3,000 a month. And that really is predicated on building a strong brand on social media and knowing your audience and being a master of your product or your service, whatever that might be. So that is who I am and who you are.
Yeah, at least a little part of
a little part of who we are. And as we give you more and more episodes on this page here on the show, you're gonna get to know a little bit more about us as we give you more of our kind of leadership hacks, business hacks, and sales hacks, social media hacks.
And I think that one of the interesting things about shows like this is that I really see this as there's two types of people. There's those people that gather information and then they repackage the information, they share it. And then there's people like you and I who you mentioned made the mistakes.
Yeah.
We've actually done this. And the benefit of our knowledge and expertise comes from the fact that we've made mistakes hundreds and hundreds of times over and over and over again until we found the right strategies and formulas and ideas and concepts that really work the best, and that we'll translate that into easy to understand topics each week for you to connect with here. And by the way, there is a community in a group that's connected to this fan page. It's called Influencer Pro, and you'll see a link in the sidebar on the fan page. You're going to find lots of free training there, as well as a download that will be connected to the topic that 16 is going to talk a little bit about here in just a moment. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Pro Group, just briefly?
Yeah, what's interesting is that we've built the community in private first.
Yeah.
Most of how this goes is like you go on a show like this, you try to build an audience, and then you kind of create a community after that. But what's great about this is that we've gotten input from so many people as well. And aside from the mistakes that we...
You're pointing to me.
No,
okay.
to the both of us. That we have gone through. We've also gotten to know a lot of people and studied different profiles and heard a lot of different stories, and so that's where our wisdom comes from as well, and most of the hacks come from as well. And in that community we gain insight into what people are going through and their main concerns in their businesses. And so the value or the training that we provide is a little bit more organized in that community, and it's kind of a module type the way you learn. So you're gonna learn that we actually train differently, you and I. I'm a lot more organized in the way I train.
Oh my gosh.
Very systematic is what.
Let me just say this. Let me just say
that.
that was not on my notes. That she was going to point to me and say, "I'm more organized."
No.
It's true though.
But
I
we
know.
have different strengths in the way they
It's
train,
true.
and that's why this partnership is going on right now. Is because we have different strengths, and in that community, we provide you modules on different platforms. As we know right now, the two biggest platforms on social media are Instagram and Facebook, and so we provide you a lot of value training, creating content, building your network, knowing your audience on those platforms. And so it's in a very organized way. You're going to get to know that. So if you're that type of learner, you learn from written materials, video materials, then you're going to have a lot of fun inside that group. But if you're someone who's like more experiential, you like to hear stories, you like to talk to people, interact, well, in Influencer Pro, it's actually a group of 7,000 people right now.
Almost, we're approaching
Yeah,
7.
so if you're the type of learner who wants to like hear stories and interact with people, then it's a community in there, you guys, and you can talk to all the members there, ask them what they're going through. If you're in the direct selling industry as well, or the sales industry in general, you can talk to the people there and ask them their stories, ask them what they've learned so far, and ask them about their journey. So it's really a fun community to be a part of. After this broadcast, you can browse through this page and look for the link. It's going to be in the About section or the banner here.
Or go to the search box and just put in Influencer Pro.
Yeah, put in Influencer Pro and be a part of that community. So let's give them a little bit of background into what we already have. We already told them about what we're going to do.
Yeah, I
on
think
the
let's
show?
talk about what we're going to talk about. The topic. Get right into the topic, and just really smooth.
Yeah.
So anyway, for the coming year, there are lots of changes as we move from we're in a transitional period from one year to another. We've experienced a lot of change, maybe positive disruption within social media platforms and the way in which these platforms have changed and really evolved. It really is amazing to me. I get excited when I see change because I know there's new opportunity. And that's really what our philosophy is as well. The more change there is, the more opportunity is created. But one of the things we wanted to kind of zero in on and drill down on for this particular show, this episode, is to talk about being more organized and ways in which that you can grow your own online business or online sales team with specific strategies and concepts that we've used. We're going to touch on some of them in this episode and share those with you both on the show here, as well as, like I said, you can get the hard copy, the notes of this in the Influencer Pro community group by actually just requesting access. So maybe that's a little bit of a segue. Let's talk a little bit about productivity, because really
productivity.
The one thing that I learned many, many years ago is that those that are most productive with the available time that they have, we all have the same amount of time in a day. We all have 24 hours, and it's how we reshape that time and what we make of those hours that we have available. The ones that are most productive are always generally the ones that are more successful, given that everything else is equal. So we want to talk about that. We want to really talk about ways that you can really, for the next 12 months, get hyper organized in a way to be more productive in growing your business.
Yeah, so I would say that the hack of the week is setting yourself up to being more organized as you build your business in 2019. And so I think the first tip I want to give you guys is to get into this with the proper mindset. You know, social media is an ever-changing environment. Coming into 2019, considering all of the changes that happened on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, and on all of these different platforms, is that you have to be okay with change. First of all, you don't being in the right mindset just means to us not being stubborn or too romantic about certain ways that might have worked for you once upon a time. And so I actually have a question here from Denise asking me about mindset. I mean, what type of mindset work, and personally the right mindset to create your success. And I would say the best mindset or training I've ever done for my team is to get them into just the mindset of being okay with change. and being okay with starting from scratch every now and then, and being okay with experimenting on different ways on how you can make this work. You know, a lot of traditional business owners become very romantic, not generalizing here, but they become very romantic about how they used to do things. And this is like the main weakness that drives them into failure, is the failure to adapt to change. And so coming into this, I want you to be okay with, because in the future you're going to experience this. There's going to be a lot of change. Algorithms, you're going to hear that a lot on several episodes in the coming weeks. These are going to change. The way you create content is going to change. The trending type of content. It used to be that photos and text, because of the dawn of Twitter, used to be a big thing, but now videos and live broadcasts are the king in terms of content. So these things are going to change, and so you have to be in the mindset of, it's an ever-changing world, and I'm okay with experimenting and trying to see as I go along what works for me, and kind of saying, oh, this doesn't work anymore, and that's okay, and then start again.
Exactly.
So coming into that, now, how do you set yourself up with being productive? To me, I mean, for me, I really like to work with checklists, because I'm very systematic, as I said, and lists work for me. Do lists work well for you? I mean, do you?
When I do yeah, absolutely, and that's one of my priorities for the next 12 months is creating that more organizational lists that actually keep me focused. And it does make an absolute difference in the way business is conducted when you can get a sense of accomplishment when you create a list, and you can actually check off things off the list. It becomes that, yeah, exactly. You go,
yeah.
Oh, I got something done. You know, I didn't get everything done for the day, but you know what? I got these three done, and these three things finished. And then what you can do, in effect, transfer those things that were unfinished to the following day. So it is really important to have those times of the day that you actually set up where you organize those lists. You know, be it in the morning, early morning with a cup of coffee or tea, or in the evening prior. Which do you do, morning or evening?
For my list?
Yeah, for your list, do you do the list in the early evening for the next day?
Oh yeah, I do prepare my list. I prepare my list the day before, and so I go through them the next day, and then I just go do it over. It's a cycle, and I kind of want to go into detail about, like, personally what's on my list, right? And these are some of the things that you can do on your list, to put on your list, so that you can get organized for 2019. So as you dive into your business, I include in my checklist different platforms. So I'm mainly on Facebook and Instagram right now. And so what are the things that I need to do on each platform is what I put on the list. First of all, it's content creation. That's mainly the thing. People won't know what you're about if you don't put yourself out there. And so a lot of the things I do is predicated on what kind of content I put up there in the beginning of the day. And so on Facebook, I go through different types of content. I do my live broadcasts, I do my photo content, and I also have different groups that I'm in. So I have my customer group, and mostly it's all my VIP customers in there. So I make sure that I put some content up there about the product that I'm selling. I also train my affiliates because they need the mental boost stuff about leadership. I put that on the checklist as well, and then I do my direct messaging, my private messaging, because two ways I scale on social media is through content, and then what I do in the background, or what I do in private, which is through private messaging. So I put that on the list as well. Part of what makes me successful is just going through this list. There's a daily, weekly, and monthly. So it's not every now and then kind of thing that I do. If you operate well with a checklist, or if you find that you're disorganized and you kind of are overwhelmed with so many things that you need to do, you're going to find that having a checklist like that is going to kind of ease the burden for you, because all of a sudden things are clear and you know what to do. And so even if you don't, or even if I don't finish whatever is on the list, because no 2 days are the same. Even though I don't get to finish all of the activities in a single day, I can just put that on the list the next day. And so what I really want to, can I tell them about this bonus that I have prepared for them in terms of this checklist?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just actually going to say that.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So you guys, I know it's overwhelming to even think of where do I start with this list. So to kind of give you a welcome bonus material and a thank you for being on this show with us and for following this page, we've prepared a checklist. A starter checklist that you can use for your business. Now, this checklist, you can use it as it is, as it's created now. It's mainly a checklist for Facebook and Instagram, what type of content to create, where to put it, and what time of day really is what's on that checklist. So if you want to access this material, it's super awesome, you guys. It's really going to help you get more organized in 2019. You can use it as it is, as I said, or make it an inspiration for your own list, because it could be that you certain parts of that list are not relevant to your business, but I'm pretty sure it is, because it's a pretty general checklist. So you can download that off the influencer group. And
Influencer Pro.
Influencer Pro group, and you can print it out or keep it on your phone as just a reference. So I have that ready for you guys.
It's in the group. Yeah, so again, as a reminder, don't worry about taking lots of notes because we're talking fast. It is in the group. It's there along with lots of other downloads and video training. So it is absolutely waiting for you.
I want to say hi to our viewers here. Hardeep, Rehal, that's wonderful. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Denise says, hey, Mai. I agree, Monty Schumacher, you've had a unique journey. Denise is acknowledging that you've had a unique journey. So, you guys, that really is is it? Do you have anything? Yep. That is the hack for the week. We don't want to give too many hacks. We want to save some hacks for the following episodes.
My gosh.
Otherwise,
we weren't going to give all of them.
I mean, otherwise this is going to be like a 6-hour long broadcast, and I don't think anyone has the patience to watch.
Especially with the knowledge that she has, that would be like hours. And in fact, the limit on a Facebook Live is 4 hours. So,
yeah.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. What the Hack? That's what we're about each week. You're going to see all sorts of different topics. Please share with your team. Please like the fan page. Please join the Influencer Pro community and support that community, because if you're like-minded about online marketing, social media, and really being a little bit of a creative type who wants to learn and explore and take advantage of all the changes and evolution that's going on in social media, that's where you need to be.
So thank you for watching What the Hack of the Week. We'll see you again next week, you guys. Bye.